Today, the world needs hope from leaders, and people are looking at the opportunities ahead. It is solely our duty to keep the spirit of hope alive and cherish humanity during these tough times. As various leaders join us to share their narrative, we feel proud to express ourselves to be part of a growth story in Vyapt Global Growth Series. In our growth series today, we have with us Mr. Parvesh Soni, who is the Group CEO of Krishna Maruti Group. Parvez, with over 3 decades of experience, has been instrumental in his contribution in automotive sector. Welcome to our Global Growth Series, Parvez.
Thank you so much, Pankaj, and I feel highly elated to be a part of your series, and I'm sure that the efforts which are being put in by you will be serving to a great extent to the entire industry as well as to the society.
Thank you so much, Mr. Soni. So we start with our first curiosity. Can you tell about opportunities the present global crisis has created for automotive and auto ancillary industry?
See, this is a period, I will say, which has given some blessing in guise, because initially when the lockdown was there and we all were very uncertain how the things are going to shape up in times, and there was no certainty and there was no visibility also coming up to us. But later on, what we have now seen that most of the people, they are not very keen to go to use the public transport, and because of that people are opting for their own conveyance, whether it is two-wheeler or whether it is four-wheeler. So what we have seen is there is a lot of demand which has come up after the lockdown, when people have started moving from their home to their work. So the people who are using metro or public transport like buses and all that, they prefer to go for their own vehicles, and that has created a lot of demand. Actually, if we see in the month of August and September, the growth has been more than 20% as compared to previous year. So this has given a lot of opportunity to the industry, and we are working, to be honest, with a lot of efforts. We are putting very high efforts to meet the requirement of OEMs, and OEMs in turn are also facing a lot of challenges from their supplier or from the internal manpower requirement, because COVID is also there and people are getting affected. So they have to take certain precautions in their plants. So with all this, with the high number, with the high uncertainties, the period is very challenging, very exciting, and we are enjoying and doing lot many activities to make sure that the demand is met, as well as the safety of the people is also taken into account.
So you said that there was a lot of growth opportunity, and you said that this August and September numbers has outnumbered the last year August and September numbers because of so many things which is there in the perspective. So with these many opportunities, what are the growth prospects of the industry, and what are the transformations required to leverage the changing landscape?
See, the transformation which is required there is primarily on account of the working conditions. Mm-hmm. In this period, when we talk about, there is one more learning which has come to us, because there was a lot of movement of permanent workers from the workplace to their hometown. Mm-hmm. So people have moved them there to their hometown, and there was one big challenge that when the demand will come, when the production will ramp up, mm-hmm. how are we going to meet the expectation, meet the requirement, because in many industry and in many companies as well, mm-hmm. the trained manpower has moved to their hometown. So mm-hmm. this then gave us a thought that we must see that how can we go for low cost automation. Mm-hmm. Personally, we have done in our organization, in our Krishna Group, if I talk about, many low cost automation wherein we have put cobots, which are not robots, but cobots have been put in. Mm-hmm. The cost is very low, mm-hmm. and the saving is 3 times of the cost of the cobot. Mm-hmm. So that has definitely been helpful to us in maintaining the supplies of the customer, mm-hmm. as well as the quality, mm-hmm. which is also very essential. So both the points are taken care. Mm-hmm. So this is one scope for improvement in our industry, which I have seen that we are able to go for low cost automation during this period. Second is, if we see that people who were there associated with the various companies, they have got opportunity to develop the products at their end, because initially we talk about there are products which are coming to the OEM from various parts of the country, and during this period there some places, so there was a need for the material from one part, but there was some constraint of sending the material. So some of the enterprising young people, they have started this activity at their own. So in their own places they have started. So this has also helped us to reduce the transportation from far off places to our places, and also given a lot of opportunity to the new boys, to the new generation, to be an entrepreneur at their own. So that is also another support which we are getting from the through this process.
Okay, so you talked about that there has to be a low cost and high innovation and high quality in the auto ancillary segment to probably go further and advance further. So when you're talking about so much growth and opportunities at place, can you also talk about what are the job prospect would this growth and opportunity create?
The job prospect is that when the requirement of the product is going up, there are definitely going to be more opportunities for the people to work. Secondly, our Honorable Prime Minister has taken a target that in next 3 years we want to be economy of $5 trillion. And currently we are close to 2.7 or 2.8 trillion dollars, and our population is 1.38 billion. So we, just to make sure that we are going almost double the size of the economy today, but in next 3 to 5 years we can't go double the size of our population. So we have to improve through low cost automation, we have to improve through productivity improvement, we have to give more job opportunities to the people, we have to make people more entrepreneurship has to be grown so that people work more and more towards this. So all this shows that there's a very bright future for the people, for the, I'll say, young generation, and for all the other industry people who are involved in various activities. So there are many chances in times to come, in very short time to come, to achieve what we want to achieve, because we see that there are many things which are coming from abroad to us. We are doing, like there are some other companies which are working in China, and their home countries are promoting that they should move out of China and come to some other countries. We are also aspiring for those companies to come to our place. So that is another opportunity which we'll be looking at. So all this is giving a lot of opportunities to our working people, and I'm very confident that in times to come there will be no dearth of the opportunities or the work for all of us, and there's a tremendous growth I look forward.
So it's also said that automotive industry, auto ancillary industry, is one of the industry which is a man-intensive industry. So can you also talk about it, because people must be looking at it, because when it is a man-intensive industry, you serve the people at the bottom of the pyramid. So if the people are low educated, if the people are not so highly educated, then also I think auto ancillary does provide some kind of at least job for them as well. So can you share your thoughts regarding that? What about the jobs at that level? Are we going to see even that jobs going to increase? Because many people say during the lockdown people have moved towards their hometowns from various cities in India or suburban areas. So can you put some light on that aspect as well?
See, there are 3 or 4 layers of industries when we cater to the requirement of any OEM. Like whatever is given to the OEM, the suppliers who supply to OEM are called tier 1. Then tier 1 have tier 2, because they also need certain guys to support their inputs. So that is tier 2. Then the level of intelligence, the level of skill, what is there in OEM is not the same in tier 1. And similarly, when we talk about tier 2, Tier 2 does not have the same kind of skill and expertise and knowledge of the workers which Tier 1 has. So a level comes down, so which is for Tier 2. Then Tier 2 is also supported by Tier 3. Similarly, it goes up to Tier 4. So if we talk about that, where there are various levels of intelligence and expertise or skill which are going to up to 4 levels. So even if I talk about at the 4th level, even some activities are being done by people who may not be educated, who may not be skilled, but they are made to work. They are given training. They are imparted a lot of information. They are given a lot of on-job training to improve upon their skills. So gradually, then people move from Tier 4 to Tier 3, then Tier 2. Like this, they move. So if I see this particular industry about auto, we give opportunity of work to each level of people and each skill level.
Okay, that's a really good insight which we got to hear from you.
The Krishna Group, if I talk about the job perspective or about the industry growth, I'll definitely like to touch base on Krishna Group, because Krishna Group started its foundation from the year 1994. I joined the company in the year 2001, and that time the total sales turnover was about 120 crores of the group. And we were aspiring that in which year we will go to 200 crores. Over a period of time, we have now 38 facilities across the country, and the total turnover is close to 6,000 crores. We have more than 14,000 people working for the group. The best part which I feel is that even today when I see and I look back, many people are there who are associated with the group since 20-25 years. So there has been a growth journey for them as well, in addition to what we have done for the Krishna Group. So Krishna Group has grown, accordingly people have also grown. People who are working as engineers, they have today become plant managers. The plant managers have gone to president or vice president levels. So similarly, there has been growth at each level, and people have seen that once they have been associated with the company for a longer period, so their association with the company for a longer period has been rewarded very well in terms of their status, in terms of their salaries, in terms of their position in the company, outside the company, society, and all that. So there has been tremendous growth. Even if I talk about myself, I joined as a CFO of a company which was about 100 crores. And over a period of time, I looked after many activities, whether it was commercial activities with finance or marketing activities along with finance, then operations. And in the year 2011, I was the CEO of it. So ever then, I'm working in the same capacity. And I've seen that my colleagues who have grown, even not only that, I have seen many workers who were there in the initially worker level, they have been promoted to the staff level, and they have also come to certain level. So that transformation in the people have grown along with the growth in the organization.
That means you must have invested a lot into skill development as well for these people to grow.
Absolutely. We have many such programs, continuous programs for blue collar as well as for white collar. And we continuously conduct outside agencies are also there who are supporting us in the execution of various activities in skill enhancement, in knowledge improvement, in their day-to-day adapting to the environment, change of environment. So change environment is actually something which is very important, and people must be ready to adopt the same. So that has also been a catalyst in our attempt to improve the level of the people that is there.
So 50 times growth from where you started to where you are now. People want to know from you that what inspires you to do even more, even in the toughest circumstances, because they want to know from you is how come this be possible? One person starting at 120 crores reaching 6,000 crore of turnover. Is it solely because of you?
See, there are 2-3 things which have contributed to this. There are many good philosophies which the promoter, Mr. Kapoor, has embedded in all of us. One is that we always consider customer as God. So whatever customer has said, we never question. We put in all our efforts to achieve it. Next is, if we talk about the values, which is respect, individual respect, and transparency. We talk about that whenever we interact within our peers, with our juniors, with our seniors, so there should be a mutual respect. It cannot be that a person who is at a lower level, he can be disregarded, and a person who is at a senior level, he only can be respected. So it has to be across the board. So all the people wear the same uniform, all the people eat in the same canteen, and that has actually built up a very strong team. The team which is there today, I can say, is one of the most motivated, charged up team in the country. And the team has been following and adopting the core values of the organization and then implementing it in their day-to-day activities. So with the strong backup from the team, with the strong values which we had from our promoters, this together has taken us to a new heights, and it has not been a very difficult journey. It has been, yes, it has been challenging. We have worked hard to bring ourselves to this level, but there were a lot of support from the team. There was a lot of support from the customer because they had seen our work culture. They also supported us. And with all these efforts, I think we had a very good, very fascinating time from 2001 till 2020. So it's almost 19 years since I have been there. And the group has done very well.
So you have shown the characteristics of a good leader, but that's keeping aside, would like to understand from you is what has inspired you the most? What are something which you think has been non-negotiable in your life till date?
See, that is what the core values actually which we define for ourselves. Those are there, wherein we talk about mutual respect, transparency, customer level, and ownership. That ownership, let me tell you, has been very well inculcated in all the people. I always used to give one example that how do we create ownership? First of all, we have to define what is there. Then we have to get a connect of the people with that activity which is there. Once we establish that connect of the people with the activity, then ownership is developed. So there is one small incident also which I always quote. If the time permits, I'll also like to share. There was a village. There was a village where there was a saint who was staying with a disciple, and he wanted to teach them good learnings, but they were not doing so very well. So one day he took both of them to the village to collect bhiksha, and he put a lot of water in the kamandal, and he was walking like this, and water was spilling out of it when he was moving like this. The boys were just looking at, and they were not saying anything. They collected whatever they were to collect, and on the way back, when they were about to reach to their ashram, then that saint said that, look, when we start in the morning, I put all my knowledge in this water, and when we'll go back, I will distribute this to you so that you also learn the same which I have learned. And again, he started moving like this. When the boys saw that water is coming out, and they felt that by the time we reach there, it will be empty. So they caught hold of his hand and said, please don't do it, because otherwise the whole water will be wasted. So what happened? They got an ownership at that time when it was explained to them, when the connect was established. Then they took the ownership of that water and stopped getting it spilled. So similarly, in the organization, we also have to make sure that whatever activities are there, those are very well explained. How are they going to affect the people? That has to be explained to them. And once it has been understood by them, when we know that they have understood, then we can feel and we are very confident that the ownership has been created. And when people work with ownership, as seen, then there is no buck passing, then there is no excuses. Everybody is looking forward, coming forward to complete the job. So that has been something. These are some of the activities which cannot be given up. We have followed up. There is no bargain on this. So these are some of the activities which helped us to come up.
So here was Mr. Soni talking about that team spirit and ownership are the two ingredients of a successful organization. And
Absolutely.
we need to help each other in terms of growth, in terms of making sure that their aspirations are fulfilled as they sweat themselves to fulfill the aspirations of the organization. Thank you
Very.
so much for your mind and heart talks. It was great interacting with you in Vyapt Global Growth Series.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was a good learning for me as well. Thanks a lot.